And we are back. Thank you guys for your patience. We had some issues to solve, but we are back here with an exciting feature match in round 5. We had to repair the round, so we can't show you the match you were probably anticipating, but we are showing you Julian Sand. We brought him back here with his nice Penguin Soldier sleeves, and he's playing against Roland Gress. And Roland Gress is a very big name in Germany because of what, Simon?
Because he was German national champion.
Yes, Roland Gress is the German national champion from 2009. So a true retro savant, and very cool to see him come back to the game through Goat. I played him before, I talked to him before. Very nice guy. He's also very active online under the username of Joker88. So if you're an online grader, you might have played against him before, and you might have lost against him because he's a very, very strong player.
Yes, and you have to be a very good player to go this far into the tournament. They are both at standing of 3-1, right?
Yes, they are both 3-1, so they're both well on their way to the top card. And Julian is opening us up with Zangan and 2 background cards, and I'm free. And I'm already curious because Julian told me that he's playing Warrior, and Zangan is not a staple in Warrior at all. But this is a staple in Warrior. And what do we see here, Simon?
We are seeing some flip monsters, and now we have to decide, do we get rid of the Spy or the Night Assailant? And that looks like a turbo list to me.
It's actually a control list.
It's a control list. Okay.
Roland is playing control, but very turbo-ish, I would like to say.
Okay. Just from these cards, I would say,
yeah, it completely looks like turbo for sure.
That's a turbo.
So, and we see the Spy being shuffled back. Julian is one of plenty Warrior players today in attendance. We didn't feature one yet, which is surprising because there are really a lot of Warrior players here.
Yeah, but we had a lot of great decks so far, and we wouldn't have missed any other decks. So, yeah.
Okay, good. So we see a set card from Roland here, and Julian now has full information, and yeah, you see his little notepad beside him. Note taking is in fact allowed, and it is allowed at every Gold Grand Prix which will be run this year. This is new that we have rules which are in place at every Gold Grand Prix, so that we are all on the same playset. Shoutouts to Grumpelstizchen, who helped design this rule set.
Yes, and now we see the Jar of Greed, which is also a good bluff back row for a Warrior deck, and now the Blade Knight puts in a little bit of pressure.
Yeah.
And drawing with a Jar of Greed.
Yeah, he does it obviously because he has like GGP break face down and wants to see if he finds a card which is worth discarding.
Yes.
This is why he did that, and Julian does know that because again he reads the hand, and Roland is already down at 4,000 life points, which is quite a bit.
Yes, it's like he paid a solemn judgment just to give his opponent 2 monsters.
I mean, that's the strength of Warrior. It's very, very strong in the early game, and you basically want to win in the early game. You want to get into a grind game against Chaos. The farther the match is moving along, the better the chances for the Chaos deck are.
Yes, and the Chaos deck has not that much of a card advantage at the moment, but that could swing very quickly, and we see a mirror Zangan.
The Zangan Ditto. Both Zangans are poking themselves in the 3 eyes and dying in the process.
Yes, because 4 fingers are more than 3 eyes. That's obviously the math behind that.
Okay. We see an agreement, not of approval from our operator. Okay, and we see a Donza Luke being searched by Zangan, and Roland goes into Serpent, which makes complete sense because there's still Raigeki Break sitting face down on the side of the field. And what better discard fodder to find than Sinister Serpent?
Yes, Sinister Serpent is a card you always want to have, and especially if you play like the discard traps, Wing Blast, Raigeki Break, Serpent is the best card in the game by far. It's so flexible, you can do everything with it, and he plays a control deck.
Yeah.
So always having access on a level 1 monster makes the Metamorphosis even better, and Serpent just a superior card in this position.
Yeah, you're completely right about that. And now Roland is basically trying to stall this game as long as possible to get into this mid to late game scenario where he can combat Warrior pretty well. And Julian is trying his hardest to prevent exactly that and finish Roland off as quickly as possible. He's looking into his graveyard where there are no monsters inside except for Zangan, which is a Dark in the grave.
Yes, and having a Dark Monster engrave is always good, and it makes a potential Torrential on the Luke kinda iffy.
Potential Torrential, say this 4 times fast, back to back. You don't have to, but do it at home and try it. He's trying so hard to not do it.
Yes.
I can't do it.
It's a potential Torrential, potential Torrential, potential Torrential, potential Torrential, potential Torrential, potential Torrential.
And that's why you are casting next to me. That's the skill set we need from our caster here.
Yeah, it wasn't that hard, to be honest.
Okay, so Donzaluk is normal summoned, and we probably see Raigeki Break being flipped now. But
Donzaluk, we want to mill, right?
Are you serious? No, you're not. This is not the reason I'm featured. Yeah, jokes aside, this still rips out a card from hand, from Roland. And now we try to just poke for 2,000, and it goes through. So Roland goes down to ring range even. It's a very, very dangerous range, especially that you kind of have to expect that there is at least one. And there's that ring! Immediately! We do have Solemn as an out. Solemn Judgment main decked. You don't see this often in Chaos decks, and it saved Roland's life here. Dropping him down to 1,000 life points, and now he doesn't have to worry about ring anymore.
Yes, our ring is gone, but now 1,000 life points is nothing, and he has still a mountain to climb. Blade Knight is such a huge monster, and 7,000 life points difference, and just setting a card, not getting his flip effect.
Okay, we see Premature Burial being activated by Julian. He does exactly what we told him to. Like, not that he's listening, but he knows what he needs to do. He needs to put the pressure on. And Zangan is no game in itself. It has 1k attack, and this would be enough. So I don't know why he attacked with Zangan first here. Doesn't make any sense. Much sense. Do you know why?
I mean, maybe he wants to pave the way a little bit and do less. Want to lessen the life points differential, but yeah, attacking with Blade Knight obviously
would have been the correct sequence.
Would have been a play that doesn't cost him life points, and also 1,000 attack on Zangan are enough.
Yeah, for the game, especially if you're attacking like a Night Assailants there, you want to attack with Blade Knight first so that your opponent is forced to pop that Zangan. You get another surge. Speaking of that, Julian most likely will get another surge from that Zangan. That was the upside of that play. But now Roland is starting to assemble all he needs. He's now sitting behind the spy, buying him a lot of time. He has Chaos available, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he has Zangan engrave. And he doesn't have to fear ring anymore, which is the biggest worry you are having when you are down that much of life points. And did Julian draw for turn?
No, I didn't pay attention to that.
I hope he did. I assume he did. It was pretty fast. But he does lose his Blade Knight here against Night Asylum from Roland, which he already knew about because it was in hand when he saw that with Trap does shoot.
Yeah, but I forgot it was there, so I don't blame him for forgetting.
Okay, and we do see Typhoon in the end phase sniping away that ring, which was a dead card for Roland anyway. And there is another Trap Dust Shoot, and we see double Thundering, a second Night Assailant and Serpent. I think it's clear what you shuffle back here.
Yeah, definitely the Serpent.
No, the Night Assailant. Night Assailant is even better discard follower because you have another Night Assailant in graveyard. So Roland could recycle that.
No, yeah.
It's something to shoot your monsters, so yes.
Yeah, you're right. He ran over the Night Assailant.
Yeah, right.
Before,
That Serpent is annoying, but not as annoying as that Night Assailant.
Yeah, I was still thinking about the draw phase the turn before.
And there's a Rota, and Rota can get you Sasuke, and Sasuke is the slow death of every spy. So Roland's still really, really struggling here. He could have set Serpent for protection, but he opted to against it, feeling pretty safe against, behind his wall of spies.
Yeah, the Ninja Grandmaster. I want to quote the German Naruto dub, Sasuke is now
Sasuke
is now up to.
He puts Sanger into attack position. He has Snatch for Spy. This could be game for Julian. And Roland Gress is shuffling up. What a great showcase of the warrior strategy by Julian here.
Yeah, and the set Snatch Steal, obviously, good bluff.
Yeah. And we can go to the side deck scene. We can go to our beautiful faces, which are getting more tired and tired like every single day. Hour, minute, whatever. Here we are. Look at us. Aren't we gorgeous people?
Definitely.
You are definitely, most definitely.
So, yeah. If you are faced with a warrior deck and you are down game 1, what do you want to bring?
I mean, your matchup against Warrior is already good as it is, but you definitely have some tools in your side deck. I don't know Roland's list, obviously, but he probably plays something like Zombiras, maybe even Gorillas or Cypher Soldiers to help with that particular matchup. And probably some Sakuretsu armors will find their way into the main deck.
So, like battle protection for your flips and...
Exactly, to protect your life points.
Yeah.
And what is interesting now is that Julian didn't saw the control portion of Roland's deck, which is definitely not good for him, because now he may not side some cards like Wanghus, Azuras or Books, which are crucial in this matchup, and he might need.
But he got the advantage of winning the first game. And
yeah, of course.
He will most definitely see them in the second game. And we saw the Solemn Judgment, which could also indicate a more control-heavy strategy.
Not necessarily, because you can also play Solemn in Chaos Turbo. It was a staple in Chaos Turbo a while ago, but it kind of phased out recent. But it's not that unusual to play like 1 or 2 main deck.
Okay.
But yeah,
I was like, okay, Solemn Judgment protects your control pieces. So
yeah, some also like it depends on how aggressive you want to play your Chaos Turbo. And I did see a Metamorphosis in Roland's hand, so you will see the control package in full force. But firstly, we see the discard of Thunder Dragon, which will get 2 of his siblings.
Yes,
or cousins. Yeah, we need to switch the scene. Sorry, we are also tired. We also need to regroup here.
Yeah.
You didn't miss much.
Yeah, there was the Thunder Dragon discarded. Yeah. And we love green serpents in GOAT format. All green serpents are good serpents.
Yeah, they are also all very nice in the graveyard, because they are getting you something. Be it itself or another copies of themselves. 4 back rows are being carefully placed on this beautiful game mat. Have you shouted out this game mat before? Amadeus did a great job designing it. Look at this beauty, Simon.
Yeah, there are a lot of GOAT tokens on each corner.
Yeah.
And which one is your favorite?
My favorite is the Pot of Greed Julian just played. And I don't really have a favorite.
No favorite? But it's like the scapegoat token of your choice is like your Hogwarts house or something like that.
I mean, my favorite scapegoat token is the Ojama token.
Yeah, okay.
That's
fair.
yeah. And we see a Blade Knight being normal summoned here into 4 back rows, which right now isn't doing a whole lot, but again biting out some valuable life points out of Roland, who just takes it. He doesn't respond with goats or anything else. And now Julian can set up his back row again. This might be a good game for Julian again. And we don't see goats in the Iron phase either. Roland is on 4 cards in hand. Will we see a second? The next script does shoot, but no, we don't.
Yeah, we just wait out and see. We have another set monster. Blade Knight, obviously. Pretty good. Oh,
and that's the Metamorphosis to abuse the set monster. So this could be a Serpent, could be a Morph, and is the Serpent such a good card in the control strategy? So Thousand Eyes is hitting the board and wants to suck in that beautiful Blade Knight. And
Slurp.
But the attack gets countered by a Sakuretsu armor. Yeah, so now you want to definitely get the Kaiku fruit to banish that Serpent, to not worry about that. This would be huge in this matchup. So let's see if Julian can find it.
Yeah, and not activating anything on the Blade Knight might be a play because the Don the Luke and the Kaiku are such oppressive cards.
Yeah.
And keeping your spot removal for these cards is much more valuable than getting rid of
and we
the
see the
Blade Knight.
payoff immediately because Roland indeed Sakuretsu armored that Don the Luke, and now he has Delinquent Duel. That's a devastating card against the Warrior strategy because you can't afford to lose your resources. You don't have as much as Chaos Turbo. And we do see a Kaiku being sniped away. It was in his hand. He saved it for later, but there is no later for that particular Kaiku, and Nobleman goes to the grave as well.
Yeah, now he got rid of the potential Kaiku threat, and now we have to see how we get rid of the Serpent and potential other light targets in grave. And there is a Torrential on the summon of the Tribe Infecting Virus, which also gets rid of that one.
Yeah.
Was that necessary?
I mean, it's definitely good for Roland to get rid of Tribe because Tribe is one of the best answers against the strategy. I'm asking myself if it was necessary for Julian to summon Tribe in the first place because, you really want to use it against Thousand Eyes. And we see a Solemn into Solemn play, and Grace will resolve the Serpent and Thunder Dragon in hand. This might be the swing that Roland needs to claim this one.
Yeah, and I mean, he was in a pretty good spot in the first place because he was up like 4 cards already, and now dealing 4,000 damage with 1 card and drawing 3 sounds pretty good.
Typhoon snipes a second Solemn Judgment. So maybe there's something to do for Julian. He attacks with the Sangan into Magician with Grace in the graveyard. I mean, it's no question what you do here. I mean, what did DJ Khaled say?
Another one.
And this is what we are about to see now. Another one, indeed, with the same Serpent being used.
Yes, and Sangan just smiles while, the doom is approaching. And now we can discard everything we want, and we have another Thunder Dragon and a Serpent.
And we found a Pot of Bleed.
Yeah. I mean, it had to happen eventually.
Yeah.
And there isn't much left. Chaos Sorcerer.
There's a Chaos Sorc. I mean, this pot was very greedy indeed, bringing him the Chaos Sorc, banishing that Zangan. I mean, Julia's head has to be in game 3 already. Maybe just a side deck against this particular control strategy. We do see 2 back row cards from Roland, and then Julian has to try to come up with something. But what do you do here? What can you do?
I mean, you have cards like... your back, your graveyard looks very dire as well.
Yeah.
There's Snatch Steal maybe.
Yeah,
banishing the Chaos Sword.
Oh, Raigeki Brave with Serpent in Grave. Yeah. And we see Tribe. And that's game over. Roland Gress claiming a very, very strong game 2 here against Julian, showcasing all the power of his strategy. I love when a game like this goes into game 3. Like in game 1, we see one deck showcasing his power. In game 2, we see the other. And in game 3, we will see which player will go ahead here.
It's not over for the loser either, because both of them have 1 loss, and they can afford a second loss, but the tournament gets exponentially harder.
I mean, if you take your second loss right here, you have to win the remaining 3 rounds and then pray to the tiebreak gods that you will advance to the top cut to set the stage again. How many rounds do we play today?
We are playing 8 rounds today, and we are in round 5. So there's a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Still to be played today. And because of the tech break we had to take earlier today, it could get to a very long night for these players.
Yeah, we will definitely power through here. No more breaks allowed. But that means the players are well rested now. They took like an hour-long break. Like, the break was scheduled anyway, so it wasn't like it delayed the tournament too much. But the players are like really eager to perform their A game now, once again. And after the 8 rounds, to which top cut will we cut?
There will be 16 players advancing, so everyone with the XO or X1 record will automatically advance, and there will be about 12 players with an X12 X2 record, and
So basically, if you're
9 players from the X2 or something like that will advance from that. So if you are X2 at the end of the day, the odds are in your favor that you make it, but it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, so X0 is in, X1 is in, and X2 is prey to the tiebreak odds, and you might get in. Julian tries to get in his deck, draws 6 cards. We switch the scene, right? And there are 2 back row cards. No warrior monster. Do we at least see a trap? Just shoot. This would be much needed here. And we apparently do not. Those penguin sleeves did not treat him well. Heavy Storm is being activated.
And we draw 1.
At least we can chain a jar. And Dust Tornado goes there as well. I mean, this could have been worse. It was a 1-for-1 trade, and you get that Heavy Storm out of the way. I think you take the trade if you are Julian.
I mean, you have to take what you get.
Yeah.
And drawing 1 is at least something.
Thunder Dragon gets that +1 out of the deck, which we know it does best, netting Roland 2 other copies. And then there's Sengen again. I've seen so much Sengen on screen today. I will have dreams about him tonight.
I mean, he is a nice guy.
Definitely, definitely.
I would want to see him more often.
I hope nothing bad happens to him in later formats, so.
I mean, like an errata or...
Like, not that he goes into another bus, like in the wrong bus. You know that story. Like,
oh no, no.
Okay. Don Zaluk was answered with a Sakuretsu armor once again, but now Julian is pretty safe to set how many back rows he wants. I mean, he has to be careful because Zangan can get a Moth at any time. Moth obviously can then get a Berg Heavy Storm to punish, but Julian will prepare for that for sure.
Yeah, but so Zangan is just Heavy Storm with extra steps.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay.
With like 5 or 6 extra steps, you can't have your opponent have an out against.
Yeah, and your opponent has to cooperate.
Yeah, right.
And you obviously don't want to.
I mean, you can just force him to, and Roland does just that, forces Zangan to the grave, tributing a Thunder Dragon. It's often underestimated how valuable Thunder Dragon tribute summon can be, and we once again, third time is a charm, gets the Sinister Serpent out of the deck by Roland.
Yes, and now we saw a Green Serpent on the field.
Yeah.
To get a Green Serpent from the deck.
Yeah.
It's the Green Serpent deck, and now we have to apply even more pressure.
I mean,
attack?
Yeah, we did attack, and Julian did take the damage. Sasuke, or Sasuke, how we call it here in Germany, tries to attack our Thunder Dragon, and nope, Roland has the second Sakuretsu armor to foil that plan. And now Julian is running out of fumes here. I wonder how many monsters he has left.
Yes, I mean, if you don't draw them, you can't play them, and you have not that much draw power in the warrior strategy, so you really have to consider how often you want to run into the Sakuretsu armor.
Yeah, I mean, Julian seems to have some more draw power than other warrior strategies, and Thunder Dragon gets answered by a Mirror Force. It's definitely not the best Mirror Force Julian ever played, but he felt the need to do that, and Roland follows up with Zombira, which is just a shield between him and his life points right now.
Yes, Zombira is just there. He has very huge board presence, and he needs to be answered with
but
the
that ring is very strong. Roland is now put in harm's way. Like, you can drop a BLS plus another monster. BLS plus beta would not... Oh, that Kaiko is huge! You can't get rid of the Serpent, but you can get rid of both Darks in Roland's graveyard. And how many cards did Roland in hand? 4.
Do we get rid of the Darks, or do we get rid of the Light?
Of the Darks, because Roland still has 1 Thunder Ring left in hand. He can discard at any moment.
That's right.
Because in Gold format, if you're not aware, you can discard Thunder Dragon without a legal target in deck. This is called Fail to Find, and it's possible only here in Gold format. Okay, So 5 cards in hand from Roland. 2 are Thunder Dragon and Serpent, so not very useful. But he only needs a Metamorphosis, which we see at the corner of the screen, to make the Serpent work. Question is, does Julian have an answer against that? I mean, if he can out that meta, then Kaiku will go to town next turn, finally banishing that Serpent. But Roland is opting to summon Tsukuyomi instead here. Do we see a response? Julian is contemplating it. If you had a Solemn Judgment, would you use it here?
It's a difficult spot because you're dead to chaos.
Yeah, and if he has a Solemn, he opted to not use it. Tsukuyomi attacks over Kaiku, gets sent back to hand in the end phase, and it's Julian's turn once again, who draws to 3 cards in that said hand. And he passes right back. That's not good for him.
Yeah, we have to draw something, but we have to find something first, and it's not looking so good.
Okay. We do see Roland now thinking about what he wants to do here. This is a very, very crucial spot in this game. The next 2 or 3 turns might decide the outcome of this match and maybe the outcome of this whole tournament for these 2 particular players.
Yes, and there's just 1 back row.
Oh, that duo got to hurt. You don't like to see it. You like to see it if you are a Roland Gress enjoyer, but you hate to see it if you are a Julian enjoyer. And Mind Control gets sent back, which wasn't the most useful card here, and we also lose Exiled Force as well.
Yes, and now we have only to worry about the 1 back row, and there has to be a way to play through that back row if you are that far ahead.
Yeah, that's for sure. So we know about 3 cards in Roland's hand, which are Thunder Dragon, Tsukuyomi, and Mr. Serpent. There are 2 more to worry about if you are Julian, and Julian only left on 2 cards with this beautiful Penguin Soldier sleeves.
Beautiful indeed. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly is happening with the Penguin Soldier on these sleeves.
I mean, he's having a good time for sure.
Definitely. I mean, he's a penguin. But, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't just... Yeah, it's a difficult situation here.
I mean...
Because if you can't apply pressure, you do not want to do nothing because giving the warrior player more time to draw into warriors is also not good.
Yeah.
But
Roland is just passing here, and we see Julian's checking his grave. Is there maybe... There is a pre-major burial, and we know that there is a Don in the grave. There's a Kaiko in the grave. So much potential for greatness lurking there.
But you have to go for the Don, right? Because Don isn't losing against Tsukuyomi.
Yeah, that's correct. Like, I mean, you have the high chance to rip something not useful out of the hand, but if he hits the Metamorphosis here, this would be absolutely huge. Let's see. Is this Don a sniper? Do we see it? It hits the Thunder Dragon, which is not the worst, but also not the best.
Yeah, and now we have to find a play.
Yeah. Okay, and Roland is now at 1-7 live, and yeah, in opposite to game 1, Ring is still a very, very live card here, which Roland has to worry about.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a danger card at the moment, but it could be a danger card.
It is.
As long as there's a monster with 17 or more.
Yeah, I mean, it is as soon as Roland puts something on the board which might deal with that Don. So this is something to worry about indeed. We know that he has Metamorphosis in hand because we see it from our side of the screen. So question is, when does he elect to use it? He's very careful with it. He doesn't want to use it at the wrong moment, which is understandable. And again, Roland Gress is the former German national champion. So if someone knows how to handle high-pressure situation, it should be him.
Definitely. And we are setting a card and going for the Metamorphosis.
There is the Metamorphosis play. Does Julian have an answer for that? And he ponders a card here. This could be a book. And it is a Torrential Tribute. Getting rid of the board. I mean, it's dangerous for Roland now, because maybe Julian can now find a game shot, and Roland is thinking about potentially Solemn Judgment in this. I can't think of another card you would chain here.
Yeah.
And it is indeed a solemn judgment, dropping Roland down to 850 life points. But now he can drop down Julian's life points as well. We are in the absolute grind game. Julian only needs a ring to finish it here or something to out that tribe infecting virus. Can he find that? Snatch would be game here, for example.
Yeah. Snatch definitely would be game here. Black Luster Soldier would buy a turn, but we only T-set.
We only T-set here, and Roland gets back his trusty Serpent. He had these things about it. I think he is on 3 cards in hand, so adding back the Serpent would make him vulnerable to Trap Dust Shoot, so maybe it's worth to just keep it in the graveyard there, not risking to run into that. Because you want to keep your Tsukuyomi to establish his Tsuku Tearlock.
Yeah, well, and Tsukuter definitely plays around any set monster.
Yeah, it
shuts
surely
down
does.
the potential Magician of Faith that was spotted in or stuff like that. So the scary monster cards you can outplay with the Tsukuter lock, but there is a back row, and the back row could be a real card.
Yeah.
It's not Ring. Ring would already have been used, but it could be a real card.
Yeah, it could be very real indeed. It could be the card which is needed to turn that thing around for Julian. So Roland has to be very careful about that. I will say this match will be over in like 3 turns tops. I am pretty sure.
Yeah, definitely.
We are witnessing the absolute endgame here, and we do witness an activation or a summon of something Roland has in his hand. Not anymore. He shovels it right back, checks the graveyard again. I mean, both players have plenty of time left until timeout will hit them, but still, he has to make a move. When will he make that? We will know right after a short break.
5 hours later.
Okay, so we are at a point where Roland definitely should make a move. I get that this is a tense situation, but there's only so much you can do. But again, I mean, it's a spot which decides this whole match and maybe Roland's tournament, so we can't get too upset with him. We're just too eager to find out what's going to happen. I want to see this match finished.
I mean, you have to play around the set back row. But you could also play around the monster.
There is Tsukuyomi flipping face down Tear activating this effect, so it's the usual play. You can't attack now. I mean, you can attack with Tear, but it isn't doing anything. And now Julian gets another turn, another potential turn to draw something great. And he does not draw something great. He just has to pass right back. Tsukuyomi can now recycle that 1000 attack for 1/1, and then we are in a very, very tight spot.
Yeah, I mean, it's 600 to 850 life points after that point, and if you reveal your Trap Dust Shot now, you basically lose the game at this point.
I mean, Julian is probably living for at least one more turn. Because Roland doesn't have a Thunder Ring left in hand, otherwise he could have tributed and do some stuff, because Tsukuyomi would only deal 1/1 damage here.
Yeah, the last Thunder Dragon got discarded by the Donzaluk.
Yes, correct. It's like we see another meta in the hand of Roland. This is why I'm pointing that out. He has 1/5 damage. I mean, he could summon Tsukuyomi, book that tribe, and then metamorphose Tsukuyomi into a Darkfire Dragon, but that would be still 200 points short. So there's something missing for Roland here. So we only see Tsukuyomi, and I think we will see an attack. An attack we will see indeed. In main phase 2, Tear gets flipped face up, and Julian is down to his very last draw of this feature match. Can he find what he needs to turn this thing around? And he finds a tribe! This could be exactly it! And that's it! Tribe from the top, and Julian claims an incredible clutch victory! Simon, did you see that coming?
Tribe was the perfect card to draw.
I think
it was like in the show, he drew his card and said, my deck has no pathetic cards. Slammed down his Tribe Infecting Virus, and it was enough.
Look at his Bandit Keep shirt and check his sleeves. Luckily, he's wearing short-sleeved shirt. But all kidding aside, yeah, Yugi Muti couldn't have drawn that any better. I mean, you have to feel for Roland here. He did everything correct. He didn't make a single mistake, and he just got Yu-Gi-Oh'd at the end.
Yeah, I mean, he had to take the pressure in very early, and he tried to make the best out of his decision, but yeah, in the end, there wasn't much he could do.
I mean, he probably thought about what would lose him the game on the spot, and Tribe definitely was on his mind. But I mean, it's only one card, and like Snatch would have been okay in that scenario. I mean, Ring would potentially force a draw in that scenario, which is still not a loss. But that Tribe from the top. So Julian is now at a 4-1 record and maybe destined for a top card performance.
I mean, some Warrior players have to go to the top card.
Yeah.
Just by the sheer amount, and he played his Warrior deck on a level that is top card worthy, so yeah.
He definitely played his heart off, and he got deserved. I mean, it's no coincidence that the Penguin Sleeves bought him the Aqua Monster for game.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we can cut. We are at us. So Simon, improvise, and I ask Julian if he wants to go in here for a quick interview.
Yeah. So we finished with round number 5. It's like 9 minutes left on the clock, and while looking into the room, most of the duelists are finished. So I really hope that there will be a short break between the next games. To answer a few questions from chat, we will play a top 16 cut out of 135 players. Top 16 cut, and I hope we will be with the interview soon, so that... Philip's coming back.
We will have a winner interview very shortly, and I have to say something because it wasn't the God top deck we thought it would, because he was holding Tribe in his hand. He just needed to discard for it, so he just needed to hold on for a bit longer. He played it perfectly, and we will cut to a very short break, 1 or 2 minutes, and then I will be back with Julian conducting the winner interview. This was a very short break because Julian is very eager to tell us about his experience. Julian, welcome in the interview. Congratulations to your amazing victory. First of all, introduce yourself. Who are you?
My name is Julian. I'm from Baden-Württemberg. I traveled 7 hours here.
Wow, that's quite a feat. Is this your first Gold Grand Prix?
Yes.
Traveling 7 hours, this is dedication. And dedication definitely got rewarded here. Julian, how long are you playing Yu-Gi-Oh?
I think since release of Starter Deck Yu-Gi Kaiba, but I play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh since the Edison time, 2010.
Okay, and when did you stop playing the advanced format?
Last month.
Last month, actually.
Yes.
So you're still very deep in the matter.
Yeah.
And when did you switch to the Gold format come, and why?
I prefer Gold and Edison since some years now. I played Advanced roughly a little bit, but stopped completely. I prefer Time Wizard. It's much cooler.
Okay, what do you like in Time Wizard terms in comparison to Advanced format?
It's slower. You don't have to read new cards all the time. For somebody who hasn't so much time for playtesting, it's much better.
Okay. Do you prefer Goat or Edison? You can be honest here.
To be honest, I prefer Edison, but I love Goat also.
Okay. I mean, you're not alone here. There are a lot of very passionate Edison players, but I mean, your passion for Goat has to be almost as high if you come as far as you do. What is your experience like at the tournament level in Goat? Do you play like local tournaments or...?
I play a lot of local tournaments. My local store owner traveled here with me from Game Yard 24, and I play at his store quite often, yes.
Okay, and you are quite successful there, I imagine.
Yeah, I might say so, yeah.
Okay, that's really great. And will you be attending other GGPs this year?
I want to, yeah. I want to travel to all GGPs. If I have time, I will be there all the time, yeah.
Yeah, this would be great to hear. Okay, let's focus a bit on this tournament. Why did you decide to bring Warrior to this particular tournament?
I don't want to play Chaos Turbo because I don't want too many mirror matches, and I tested with Zombies and with Warriors, and Zombies, it's too bricky. Warriors, it's the best deck against the meta. I really like it, yeah.
Okay, and are you an experienced warrior player? Did you pick it up recently? How's your history with the deck?
No, last season I went top 50 on Dueling Book with this warrior deck.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so I decided I played it a long time online. Yeah.
What's your username on Dueling Book?
DA Punk.
DA Punk. We might have encountered on ladder before. I don't know honestly, but I'm playing so much ladder.
Maybe.
Maybe we did. Maybe
I
we
don't remember. Yeah.
We are both playing too much ladder,
Yeah.
probably. That sounds good. And what are particular choices you made in this tournament? I saw you main decking Sengen, which isn't usual at all in Warrior.
I main deck Sengen and I main deck Zaborg.
Oh, wow.
Because Zaborg and Sengen is a great combo, and Zaborg breaks the Gravekeeper lock. Because the Gravekeeper lock kills warrior decks, it slows me down too much, and I need more cards to break it, so I decided to play Zaborg. And yeah, it was quite successful right now, yeah.
I remember now that you're saying, looking at your deck list earlier today, and was like, okay, it's a warrior, but it has Zaborg, but it has no spy, so it's not a thunderclap. What is this? But this is what I love about GGPs. There are these random card choices which just work out sometimes.
I also play Premature Burial and Call of the Haunted, so I can bring back Tribute for that's for the Zaborg, yeah.
Okay, and how did your tournament go so far? What were your matchups? What was your experience today like?
Oh, that's great. I only had 2 Chaos Turbo. One was my only lose today. I had Relinquished, Zombies, Reasoning Gate Horus. I had so many different matchups. I really love it, yeah.
It's a very diverse meta here. It's like you look around, like at round 2 I saw 2 Aqua decks playing right beside each other. It's just really, really crazy. Okay, and so it was a very interesting situation. You came to me earlier, you asked for a feature match.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, okay, if you ask, why not? Why? And then we pick you for a feature match. We set you down, and then we have to repair. What were your feelings then?
It was not so cool because the opponent I played in the featured match, he told me later he played zombies.
Yeah.
I wanted to play against his zombie deck, and yeah, bad luck. But also great match now, yeah.
Okay, and then and then we got you to the feature match. I think, did you expect that we take you to the feature match again, or was it like
no?
Okay,
because I thought my opponent played zombie. It might be more interesting than my warrior deck. So but I'm still happy. I got the chance.
Yeah, I mean you had a very big name as your opponent, and I just told you I think you didn't even recognize that this was a former German national champion.
No. To be honest, I didn't recognize him. Yeah.
I mean he won the national championship before you started playing competitively.
Yeah.
It was 1 year before, so it's understandable. And did you feel any pressure? I mean, you asked for the feature match, but did you still felt any pressure playing it?
No, to be honest, not. I'm not so shy in front of the camera, and I mean, my biggest success in Yu-Gi-Oh! Was at the Joshua Schmidt tournament in Karlsruhe, the Big Edison tournament.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah, I was second place with Flamwell there.
Actually, you were the Flamwell guy.
Yes, yeah.
That's amazing. Congratulations to the performance.
Thank you. And so I'm not shy of the camera, no.
Okay, I can tell. This is very great to see. Very glad to have picked you for the feature match. Walk us through the match. So, game 1, you have a very aggressive hand.
Yeah.
And Roland actually plays Chaos Control main deck.
Yeah.
And you just didn't see any control. So, you were assuming he was playing Turbo, right?
I saw the judgment, so I was a bit okay. And I also saw Metamorphosis. So I decided to side in the Wang, who's in game 2.
Okay, so you had the good situational awareness to pick up on that. Very, very smart. How do you feel in general about the control matchup?
I prefer Turbo, to be honest,
Okay.
because my deck is more against the Turbo matchup, because the control matchup, the 1000 Ice Restrict is a lot of problems for me. I was very lucky with the Tribe Infecting Virus. I didn't top deck it. I needed another card to discard to top deck. But yeah, I have a problem with control matchups, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this Tribe was amazing, but let's not get far. Then game 2, he just ran you over in a few minutes.
Yeah.
And then were you like, oh damn, this is going the wrong way? Or were you still relaxed, calm, and knew that you would win game 3?
I wasn't really relaxed, to be honest.
Okay.
And when I saw my starting hand, no Dust Shoot, no Trinity, I thought, okay, but it still worked out, yeah.
What do you think was the deciding factor in game 3? It was very back and forth, and then at the end it seems like he had a huge grasp on you, but you came out of it like, what was the moment besides Stripe which made the match for you?
I think it was the Premature Burial on the Don Saluk.
Okay.
Because I forced him to destroy it, and I break the Tsukiyomi lock with it. Because with Tsukiyomi running over my Kaiku, I'm in a lock. I can't exit it. So I think that was the turning point.
Also, the Thunder Dragon hit did win you the game because he had Metamorphosis in hand. if he still would have had the Thunder Dragon, he would have been able to tribute the tribe away, metamorphose into Balta, and just win this turn. So that Don did really, really good work.
Okay. Because I thought, oh fuck, Thunder Dragon, this second worst choice, but well, okay, nice.
Yeah, it definitely won you the match there in hindsight. Sometimes discarding a Thunder Dragon can be really, really good. So you're now 4-1. You know that if you win 2 out of 3 rounds, you are in a pretty good spot to top. What are your thoughts going into the 3 rounds? Are you going round to round, or are you like having the bigger picture in mind?
Round to round.
Round to round.
It's always better on big tournaments go round to round. It's my experience, yeah.
Yeah, you're really spot on about that. So you want to face like Chaos Turbo basically, right? From now on.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything you don't want to face, you're really afraid of?
Gold control again.
Okay.
But the rest of matchups is okay. Reasoning Gate is also not so great, but yeah, I have some thing in ball for it, so yeah, okay.
Okay, so and what was your goal coming into this tournament? Were you expecting to top cut or just here to have fun? Or what was your idea of?
To be honest, I wanted to top. I trained to top, but it's also okay for me if I don't. I don't go home crying. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're on a pretty good way to that. It was a pleasure having you in the interview. Congratulations to you again. Finally, you have the last. Do you have any shout-outs? Do you want to greet anyone, a group, a person? Feel free to.
Yes, I want to greet Hussein from the Game Yard 24 who traveled here with me, and my homies Chris and Hef who stayed at home.
Okay, we will follow your progress closely. I hope to see you again in Top Cut, which would be nice. And also, like, do you want to get an invite? Would you play Worlds?
If I have time, yes.
Okay. So, yeah, let's hope for that. Thank you again for the interview, and we will cut to a short break, and we'll come back with the next round very shortly.
Bye-bye.
Hey, du hast es bis in die Endcard geschafft. Dankeschön, dass du dir mein Video bis zum Ende angeguckt hast. Und falls du den Kanal noch nicht abonniert hast, dann lass doch super gerne ein Abo da. Like das Video, wenn es dir gefallen hat. Lass einen Kommentar da. Ich versuche auf jeden Kommentar zu antworten. Und hier siehst du die Playlist, die zu diesem Video passt, sowie ein weiteres Video, was dir gefallen könnte.